Good morning. So I'm finally out on a weekday ride in the morning, and I haven't done that for years, and part of it is because I've been working full-time Monday through Friday at a very busy hospital, and just carrying a lot of responsibility, always having to be there, do morning reports, do morning huddles with my team, so on and so forth, and help run our case management department. So the change is I'm no longer working full-time at that hospital. They'll probably bring me in for some more contract work. There's discussions of that right now, but in the meantime, I'm going to take advantage of the time and take advantage by making sure I exercise, keep that consistent, because I was inconsistent for a while and I was negligent when I went from working out 4, sometimes 5 days, 6 days a week to working out 4, 5, 6 days a month. So that's a drastic change and a drastic difference that I did, and it was definitely a change in pace and a change in my health as I try to get across the street without getting killed here. So anyway, this is supposed to be a more bike-friendly street, but obviously on a weekday morning at 7 a.m. everybody going to work, not as bike-friendly. Weekends it's probably good. Anyway, so I wanted to talk to you about leg conditioning. I'm going to put a pic in my for this video called Legs Part 2. If you watched it till now, you already knew that was the title of the video, and talk a little bit about the importance of functional leg training, not only for a cyclist but for a human being, and for someone who wants to stay functional and stay independent and independently living as long as possible. Legs are a critical part of that. Legs and core, I would say, are your two top muscle groups that you really have to be very consistent with. So I do legs at least once a week. I haven't done it twice a week in a while, but I do legs in the gym once a week. When I mean legs, I mean leg strength training. I do it other ways with just cardio, but I'm talking about strength training. And I started using this bar called the H-bar, where you do squats inside the bar, and you'll see you can reference a pic that's in the pic for this video. And by doing that, you stay centered. It's really nice. And additionally, what I do is, instead of using big 45 plates that would limit me how far I could squat down, I use 25s, and I just put two 25s on each side, and it's a little bit more weight. The bar alone is already 50 pounds. It's a heavy bar, and then you add that to that, so it's 150 pounds, basically a little bit less than my body weight, and I'm 160 pounds. So squatting, ideally I should be doing my body weight, and doing those H-bar squats really help out keeping the function of squatting in my routine, and I love it. It's a great exercise. I follow that up with leg press, and I want to talk about leg press. Leg press machine is that sled machine. I use the sled machine, and you're sitting like you're sitting in a pilot, as a pilot in a cockpit of a plane, except you're angled upwards, maybe like you're in a spaceship or something, and you're pushing up, and it's on that sled, and you could put weights on there. It's free weight. It's not the machine, but it's a free weight one. And at least once a week, if not more often, I'll see some guy on there or some girl stacking that thing up with 5, 6, 7, 8 plates on each side, and then taking that squat or that leg press and only going down less than a 45-degree angle in their legs. They don't go the full 90. Now, to me, that's kind of pointless. Why would you be doing that? I guess you are exercising a portion of your quadriceps, and you get down, but you definitely probably don't get much work into your glutes and your other muscle groups. But I always see that, and I kind of chuckle inside, thinking, I guess it's a psychological thing for them. So I use less weights. I only go up to 4 plates on each side, or sometimes 5, but I take it down. There's a stop that only allows it to go down so far. I push that stop all the way down to the bottom, and then I take it all the way down to where it hits the bottom sometimes. And it's definitely more than a 90-degree bend on my legs. Maybe I'll do a couple reps to kind of get the feel of the weight and do it a little bit shorter, maybe. But for the most part, hold on, it's a weekday morning, guys, like hustle and bustle. Anyway, for the most part, I do it all the way down, and I always do high reps, even on my other one. So my reps, I mean high by 10, 12, 15 reps. I don't bother going so heavy that I can only do 4 or 6 reps. I just don't feel that 4, 5, 6 reps is necessary for my age and the type of conditioning I'm doing with my body. I feel like go lighter and go more reps. And I've been doing that for a while. And today I'm kind of doing a shakeout or a recovery ride on my legs on my gravel bike. And I'll show you my gravel bike later, how I have it set up. But I love it. I love those 2 exercises. And then I add some other functional exercises. Have you guys ever heard of farmer walks? So farmer walks, the way I understand them, is holding a kettlebell or a dumbbell with both hands or one hand. And basically it kind of reminds me of, I did construction one summer when I was in high school. And it reminds me of being that gopher on the construction site. You're basically hauling stuff from the truck to the work site for the workers. And obviously I was just a high school kid, and I was just there to do what I was told by my my girlfriend's father, that let me work for his construction company. And it's heavy work. So what I do in the gym is I'm holding a dumbbell or a kettlebell. Our kettlebells only go up to 50, so 50 is pretty easy to hold 50 in each hand, and walk around the gym, basically walk around the weight room, or if you have a track, I guess you could walk around the track if you have an indoor track in your gym. But I do that also at the end of my workout. I really like that. The other significant exercise I definitely do is leg curls and leg press. So leg curls is obviously the best one I like to do is the one where you're laying down, face down, and then you're curling it up while you're laying down. I don't like the seated where you're curling it under and you're sitting on like a driver's seat and curling it under. I do the knee extension that is seated again. With that, I go lighter and I make sure I get a full extension and full retraction, because I see that sometimes the people don't have it go back far enough. It needs to go, you need to bend your legs, your knees at least a 90-degree bend. If you're just doing partial movement, I don't feel like you're getting your knee work. So that brings me to my final point. Knees, knees, knees. So knees are very fragile for the most part, and they're easy to injure. So you really have to be very consistent and very organized and very strict with the exercises you do that involves your knees. And obviously all your leg exercises involve your knees. So I'm very strict with my form. I'm very concerned making sure that I don't bend my knee in a weird way, that I'm very controlled with my movement, and I'm very good about the knee exercises or the leg exercises in regards with my knee. So sorry about all the ambient noise, you guys, but that's where I wanted to land my plane, talking about leg exercises and being very careful with your knee and consistent, keeping your reps up, and being very organized with having a good leg routine and having a good follow-up cardio routine with some recovery rides. And then I will have a solid week of riding in gym, and then I will do my Century ride this weekend. So we'll see how that translates into a Century ride. It won't be on this gravel bike, it's going to be on my other gravel bike. But I really do love doing my Century rides. Hopefully it won't be another 90-100 degree day. We've had a heat wave here, guys, and it's hot. It's already something like 80 degrees right now, so it's been very hot. And you have to do as much as you can outside early in the morning or late at night, because during the day it's just unbearable. And I feel sorry for those guys having to labor outside. That's a rough job. I'll talk to you guys later.